It doesn't matter if you're a football fan or if the Seattle Seahawks are the rival of your favorite team. The intent of this training is to start a conversation about how we can improve our leadership, teamwork, and communication by learning from a successful organization.
One, two, burst to finish. Good. I said burst all the way through. All right, baby, go to work, baby.
Wouldn't have hit your head on the helmet, though, man.
Good, here we go, bring it up. Hey. That's it, fellas, let's go execute now.
Our communication starts at the top with Coach Carroll. He comes in, he presents his message, his intent with clarity, with firm direction, and then it filters on through the coaching staff.
He's brought in here a philosophy that he believes in, and he hits the philosophy each and every year.
He spends a lot of time with staff meetings and even one-on-one sessions talking about objectives of the team, the philosophy, our approach of the team, and then from there, my role is to help train up other coaches and the players as well. So just constantly, as long as we're speaking the same language, that's critical.
Boom! There it is! There it is! You got there. You got there. There's a run, you betcha.
Thank you, Coach.
You want another one?
No, that's it, Coach.
That was too much fun.
I think the most important thing for us is our language. We're very optimistic here, and we're always going to try to look on the bright side. We're going to always try to find the positives in everything that we do. If you say things in a more upbeat manner, or if you're always beating down on guys, so we prefer the former. We want to make sure that we're building guys up, that we use positive language, that if we hear other guys using negative language, that we catch it and that we communicate with them. Say, hey, that's not us. That's not how we talk. That's not going to help us. And we try to make sure that we get the language in the way that we want it to go.
Everything is to encourage. If we have to correct, it's the intent. Why am I correcting this person? Is it out of my own frustration, or is it like I'm trying to help get you better? And as long as that's understood by all parties, then you're able to receive the critique or even the praise where it should be. It's like, okay, this is intended for me to continue to get better.
I think communication is always going to be the biggest key, and it's going to be, not only is it communication, but it's humility. Because throughout the communication, there's good and there's bad. If it's not right, somebody has to be willing to step up and help you fix it. But you have to be humble enough, one, to say what it is that you have to say, and two, to accept whatever it is that needs to be fixed. So humility is a huge portion that that we can lose sight of because of, one, pride or ego. It's like those are huge things within an organization that ultimately bring it down. Like, it's a good thing this guy has pride, he gives pride, he shows pride in his work, and then on the next hand you go, well, I can't talk to this guy because he's so prideful. It's humility that's the greatest strength, and it really has nothing to do with pride at all.
Good battle. That's good battle. Good coverage, man. Oh. Right there. Top shot. Oh, let him in. Still got some learning to do with the puck.
From my perspective as an offensive coordinator, I get to communicate with the players each and every week. But I think it's important for me to be able to kind of take some feedback from them, to listen to them. They're the ones on the field. They're the ones doing the actions. And, we have great lines of communication there, so we can make adjustments. We can make improvements.
The old saying, right? Like, you're only as strong as your weakest link. Well, how about if we have no weak links? So who's responsible for that? That's every man in the room. Every man in the room is responsible for us not having a weak link. So information that you have or information that you get that you understand sooner or better than someone else, when you share it, you share it. You have to be willing to help the next man, or we're not going to be as good as we can be.
I have a great staff that works around me and say, hey, have you ever thought about doing it this way? The communication is open that way. Some guys are lead by example guys, and they're not going to say a word. And then you're going to have another guy over here that's the rah guy, and you kind of need all of it to be able to work together. And so you find yourself, you kind of step back, take an inventory of what's going on, say, you know what, that's an area that I can help in, and this is what I'm really good at. I'm going to fit myself in there, and try to be a leader in that area.
The leader isn't someone who is supported by the followers. It's more the leader supports the needs of the followers so they could become as good as they could become to fulfill their work. And I just think that it takes a level of humility to be a great leader, and a level of care and love for the people that you work with. And you're really serving the people that you're with.
I think it's important to kind of have your eyes open, you know, one as a leader or even as somebody that's you know, underneath those leaders. And you know, I've always been taught that it's important to kind of have your eyes open in terms of everybody has strengths, everybody has weaknesses. I have different strengths than you do, and you have different strengths than I do, and kind of fill in the gaps where you feel that you can be best served.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, burst the finish.
I would say we try to create a culture or environment in practice as close to the game time situation as possible. Whether it's a preseason game, whether it's a regular season game, or it's a Super Bowl or playoff game, we try to treat every situation that important. And how much more important in firefighting, right? It's like every situation is a critical situation, right? And so we try to train our coaches and players to think in that vein, where every opportunity deserves the greatest amount of focus, greatest amount of attention.
We must protect each other out there, and we recognize that, again, we need everybody to be successful. So that's why our practice here is so vital, it's crucial, because that's where we make us. It's in that training, it's in that practice.
So the more distracted we are by, like, how come you're not doing your job, or, like, you know, these guys are negative, the more consumed and fragmented you're going to be as a person, as a performer. So we try to have the guys focus in on what you control, which is yourself, and then from there maximize what you could control, and then see what kind of job that you could do. And the last thing you want to do is you be out of sync, and then now you got more problems instead of you being in sync, doing your job, and reflects a great level of leadership as an example.
We do our normal stuff. He's outside. We got the push. There it is.
But one of the things we do here, and Coach talks about it all the time, is that we're a developmental staff. And so he's the head coach, and he's trying to develop all of us. As you mentioned before, you know, each and every one of us wants to continue to move up the line. Someday I want to be a head coach, and Coach Carroll really empowers us to be able to do that. And he puts us in situations that are gonna stress us, put us in situations that are going to help us grow in our area of our expertise, and really make us work so that when the time comes to, if we have an opportunity, that we're ready for that. And then I'm in turn am able to do that with the coaches that I'm in charge with leading. And I talk to them, I empower them, say, hey, you're in charge of this, you're in charge of that, and give people opportunities to you know, to kind of come to the forefront and let their skills improve. Well, you know, I think along the way, you know, you get little things, you know, from when I was playing, you know, the coaches that I played for, you learn some things. The coaches that then I coached with, you learn things. I think a lot of times, it's kind of funny, I think a lot of times you learn more what not to do. You know, say, okay, I really like that, but I don't make sure I don't want to, that's not something that I want to be a part of. And so you kind of take inventory that way. And I think the greatest growth that I've had as a coach has been since I've been here in Seattle with Coach Carroll. You know, he has a definite defined philosophy. He has a defined leadership style. You know, he's very positive, upbeat, optimistic, and we have a great time while we're doing it. And I think all those things since I've gotten here has kind of been, you know, more of an alignment to me here. And then I've just been able to, you know, to build off of it from, you know, really from Coach Carroll's style.
Way to go. That's it, baby. That's it right there.
In firefighting, I mean, it's just such a physical thing, and I mean, you guys put your lives on the line, and it's being able to stay connected with each other and being able to trust the person next to you to get their job done so you could do your job. In football, it's not that, the consequences aren't that grave, but nonetheless, we're still counting on everyone to do their job so we could function really well.
The truth is that we're blessed to be here and able to do what we do, and that's something that none of us want to take for granted. You know, there's a whole lot of people involved, from head coach all the way down to where we have a whole lot of people, a whole lot of families involved. And that being said, you know, we have to bring it. We have to come and we have to be focused, and our intent has to be our best and to help the next man be his best each and every single day.
One of the things we do really well here is we celebrate the uniqueness of our players. We let them be who they are. Let their personalities come out. And if you do that, if you're not suppressing guys, then I think guys enjoy it more, they have fun. And then in turn, you know, you got guys that have humor, you got guys that are really serious, and you kind of blend everybody together, and you end up having a really good time with that.
You know, our big theme of leadership is like meeting the needs of others. really just focus in on just how can I help my teammate, how can I help my coworker to become as good as he could become. And I believe everyone has an opportunity to a level of influence. You know, obviously if you're the head guy, you may have more influence than someone who's right in the middle or someone who's working together with everybody else. But essentially, we've been talking about as a team is like meeting the needs of others. You constantly, in your sphere of influence, if you can meet a need to help someone become the best football player, the best coach, best firefighter, you do it. And then that will create a culture of everyone's trying to help each other out. And that's what leadership is trying to help everyone be as good as they could become. And that's essentially what we're trying to get done here at the Seahawks.
There you go. And there you go. Keep your eyes on your luggage. Eyes on your luggage. Yes. That dude's crazy. Yeah, that's right. I do crazy. No lunch for you. No lunch for you. Hey, look, and then there it is right there. Come on, man.